So a lot of times when you go to see gigs, you see bands. Sometimes the opening band surprises you more than the main act, and that's what kind of happened to me in Copenhagen when I went to see Soen. Now I love Soen; they're one of my favorite bands in the world right now. But I knew what to expect because I knew the songs that we're gonna play. Because I mean, they only have 2 albums, so the setlist was quite predictable, even though it was still quite amazing to see them. But the opening act, called Lizzard, on the other hand, I knew nothing about, and little I knew that I was in for a treat. As soon as they played the first 2 tracks, I kind of knew what kind of band this was, and I was really blown away by the whole performance thing. So much that I really had to go and buy their records right after the gig. Luckily they didn't have a lot of records, so I didn't have to spend a lot of money, but still I bought them all. I think, well, they have one debut album called Venus, sorry, one EP called Venus, released in 2008. They have the first full-length album called Out of Reach, released in 2012, and then the second album called Majestic, released in 2014. Now I was really blown away by the power and the musicianship from these guys, having never heard of them, not even their name, because I mean they are quite, I wouldn't say a new band because they've been going from 2006, but they're still quite small. I don't really know why. I don't really understand. I think these guys should be bigger. I don't know whether they toured enough. I don't know whether they haven't, I don't know, marketed their music enough. But this is definitely a band that has a lot of potential to become really big. Not because they sound new, they sound unique. Actually, I think that's one of the main weaknesses. They sound a lot like many other bands in the world. When I heard their albums, sorry, when I heard the songs live, I could recognize bits and pieces from different bands, and not only from song to song, but from parts of the song themselves. So I'd say, you know, that is the big weakness, if you can call that a weakness. Like, personally, I don't really care if a band sounds reminiscent of another one. The guys from Soen got, you know, looked upon because of that when they first released their debut album Cognitive. A lot of people say that that was a blatant ripoff of Tool, which I do understand. You know, it does sound like Tool, but like, in my personal view, you know, I'm just one fan of music. I don't really care about that because it's nearly impossible to drift away from your influences and create something completely new, especially in 2015, where everything has pretty much been done, and also in the realms of hard rock and metal, everything has been pretty much done, so it is really impossible. So what do I look for now is quality in the songwriting and also performance, live performance. So those two are the main things for me that make me want to buy or just skip a band. So I think Lizzard ticks those 2 boxes for me. The songs are really infectious, very memorable, and also their live performance is extremely powerful. I think that is the main strength from this band. You know, people who never listen to them get totally drawn in when they see them live because of the power, because of their, you know, execution of the instruments. You know, it's like a never-ending eargasm that you don't want to finish. And you can tell as a musician, because I'm a drummer myself, and I can tell the amount of work that has been put behind every single one of these releases. So talking about the first EP, the debut, Venus, I mean, there's nothing ultra special about it, nothing extremely unique. It sounds good for what it is. I see this more as a stepping stone towards greatness than a great piece itself. It's all in French, so I don't really understand a single word. Maybe my bad, I don't speak any French. But again, you know, this is something that I don't normally listen to that much. But the first album, the debut album called Out of Reach, it is quite special. You can tell that the band found their musical fit on this one, or are starting to find their musical fit. There's a lot of great songs, like the first one, Disintegrity, The Orbiter, the title track, Out of Reach. One song that really liked, and I read some reviews claiming that this is a blatant ripoff of Tool, which it is. Okay, you have to accept it, but still I love it. I love this track. The one is called Twisted Machine, and I think this is a song that the guys play live as well. And Across the Line, another one that is great, Tear Down the Sky. I'd say the beginning and the end tracks of this album are the greatest. Maybe the middle chunk is a bit weaker, but still quite great compared to what bands do normally these days. So this is a great album to pick up. Again, you know, this is a better stepping stone towards what's to come later. So 2 years down the line, they release this album called Majestic, which is the latest release. This was out last year in 2014, and to be honest, I really struggled to find a weak track on this album because I like every single one of them. I think they've gone even higher, you know, on the songwriting level. The first song, Vigilant, is one of the first singles. Great track, amazing build up towards the final bit. You know, that's something that Tool is very famous for doing. You know, like they spend the whole track building up to this how can you call it, to this summit of the mountain where you can go any higher, and all you have to do is just go down because there's nowhere else to go. So these guys are great at doing that as well. One of my favorite tracks from this album is Colorblind. Again, you know, I love the build up, I love the middle part that sounds very emotional. And one thing I have to talk about is also the fact that these guys sound very progressive at times. This goes back to what I was saying before. When you see these guys live, it's like an orgasm that you don't want to finish, because it sounds like a very organized mess that is very rewarding if you understand what's going on. And especially as a drummer, I know how hard it is to come up with these parts and to play them as well. And when someone does it good, someone plays these parts very consistently, is such a joy to witness. So yeah guys, I want to inspire you and invite you to check these guys out. Lizzard from France. I'm gonna leave some links below where you can check out their songs, like their Facebook page, because again, these guys, I don't know why these guys are not bigger than they are. They really deserve it. And I'm gonna see them again on Tuesday for the third time. So thanks for watching and see you sometime.